everybody, it's Rick from RC Kinsman Studio. Welcome to another video. Today we are using the Altenew Blushing Magnolia Stamp Set and the coordinating stencils to create a fall card. So we are going to create in fall colors. I am pulled my colors from my color cube, and I just took and went through my ink and just kind of matched the colors to what was on the lid as best I could, or a variation of the colors that's on there. Because on the back of the color cards, you have the card that's there, or the color they're talking about on the front. These are the bigger swatches. Then they have smaller swatches with the color names and codes, and then they have the values over here, the tint, tone, and shade of those colors. So you can pick from those and you have a harmonious color combination. So I went through and picked those. I've got some Altenew blending brushes, mini blending brushes, and a piece of cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and put this in our stamp wheel, and we're going to stamp this down. So I'm going to ink this up with jet black ink. And with the stamp wheel, if we don't get a good impression, just like the Misty, you can re-stamp. And I actually need to get some more Altenew ink. So when I started looking, I only have a few sets of the cubes. I know I have a majority of the markers, so I could have used those, but I wanted to use the stencil today. There we go. So before we get started, I'm going to take my mat out of my stamp wheel because I'm going to use it to hold my stencil. I'm going to take my stencil, stamped image, lay it down. And the Altenew stencils come, they're numbered. I don't know if you can see that. There's etched numbers in there. You can barely see it online or on the screen. Here we go. You have the etched number right there, and then you have A1, and it coordinates with the stamp set. If you look at the stamp set, it has A, so you know that stencil coordinates with that image. And then you just have to figure out how to line it up. Now I am going to take some Post-it notes and mask off along the bottom. I've already done this once and got ink everywhere. Alright, so we're going to use yellow ink first. So I am using Sweet Mustard from Picket Fence Studio, because that's what I have in my stash. So I'm going to lay down my first layer, and I'm doing a little gradient ink blending, a little darker at the base of each one. And letting it get lighter as we get closer to the top. And I can tell you, these little the mini blending brushes, they are super, super nice. I actually didn't realize how nice they are. I get the Build My Garden monthly kit, and this was the September stamp set for that kit. They normally it comes with a stamp set and stencil, and sometimes we get the coordinated die also, but you can always purchase the die as a separate purchase if you want to. I very rarely order the dies. Mask right there. And then along this edge. I'm going to go a little bit heavier handed back on these, on this layer, because I want them to be a little bit darker. You may be wondering, why are you doing the Magnolia Yellow? Why not? It's your card. You can do whatever you want. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. All right, we have a little green that's supposed to go there. So I'm going to take another Post-it note and place right there. Just my green. Yes. I'm going to tap off. This is the evergreen color from Picket Fence. Way I can pull my stencils off, and I'll clean them later. All right, this is our next stencil for this image. So it's 2, and then they're numbered 3. It tells you how to actually lay them on there too. All right, while we have this, I'm going to go ahead and mask that. And then if you're ever looking for inspiration, if you look inside your Altenew package, it has a step-by-step guide and some inspirational images in there. It tells you some great color combinations to use with your inks. That's why I like it. Mask those off. That's what keeps me from making another boo-boo. All right, I'm just going to clean that off. Now we can take and move our mask around to this side. Not like it's really going to matter too much because it's yellow, so it's not going to hurt anything. I do want to mask this right here, and I'll go ahead and mask that. Safe than sorry. All right, let's go back to our yellow. I will have all the products I'm using today listed in the coordinating blog post. And that will be linked below in the description bar. Isn't it pretty? Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more gradient to some of them, you could come back in, lay your mask back on. Maybe we wanted to take a little spice. And just add into our yellow right there. We could do that with the same mask that we have, or stencils we have. It would actually give you a little bit more oomph. And since we're in such a controlled area, I really don't have to do a lot of masking. But I am tapping it off. You could even use a violet color and put a little bit of violet in it and make it really stand out. Just very little right there at the base of each petal. Doesn't take a lot, but it makes a world of difference. And if you're not a colorist, this is the great way to go, because you could use your stencils and color an image pretty quickly. All right, we're going to line up our stem here. And once you pretty much get one in place, it's pretty easy. All right, so we're going to start with the spice. I'm going to add a little bit of that. I have to, this one's, I bent it a little bit, so I got to hold it. All right, I'm going to come in with my darker brown color. This is Gathered Twigs from Pink Fresh. A little bit darker areas there. Maybe a little shadow under our little leaves right there, or buds. See, I made a boo-boo. That's okay. We'll put our sentiment there. All right, I can peel this off now. Let's put this back in our stamp wheel. There's always a way to hide stuff. All right, let's see. I'm going to take this off. And we are going to find a sentiment we want to use. You can see this is a large stamp set. It's like 6 by 8. And you get that large image, and then this large one, and that large one. So you get a good bang for your buck. We are just going to stamp Sending Hugs, and then I will probably trim this down a little bit. The little smudge does not bother me because it's handmade, not Hallmark. We can add a little bit more ink blending to the sides. Which is what we're going to do. Pick that up. Okay, let's condition that. Stamp this again. We stamp our sentiment and the jet black. There we go. Now let's peel this off. And spray that with our stamp cleaner. And then we're going to come in and do a little blink inking on the sides. So let me grab a brush. Just come around the edge. And I'm going to add a little of our gathered twigs also. More chocolatey brown color. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to take and spritz that with a little water. So we're going to pick that up and do a little splatter. Now I'm going to add a little white splatter. And I'm just going to take some acrylic paint for that. Little drop. All right, my friends, that is the card. All I got to do is add it to a card base, and our 1-layer card is completely finished. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye, guys. Love you.